I see none indicated. Therefore, we'll move to item 3, which is the Treasury Management Mid-Year Review. Any further observations from officers?
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to highlight that this is the mid-year review, and I just wanted to highlight on page 10 of the report in paragraph 22 that we have complied with the various rules, but just so you're aware, we did invest more with our council bankers, Santander, than what is currently included in the arrangements. And it did increase to 117 million on the 9th of June. You'll see in the paragraph there that it reduced to about 37.1 million as at the end of September, which was the mid-year position. But as at this morning, it has increased slightly to £50 million. You may ask why that's important. What I need to inform members is that bank base rate, of course, has reduced to 0.1%. But the the UK government Treasury Debt Management Office, where we would put our investments if we didn't have individual banks and local authorities to go and invest in, is currently requiring us to pay money, interest to them. It's negative interest rates, applies for short-term investments of overnight and 1 week investments. I don't want to do that if possible, and hence is one of the reasons why we have increased our investment in our bankers over this period, and we will continue to try and manage the resources as best as we can, leader and members. I just wanted to highlight that as part of this update for this item.
Okay, thank you, Howell. Any questions or observations from members? I've seen none indicated. Therefore, moving to the recommendation, which is on pages 13 and 14. This item is just for noting. So we're all happy to note? Yeah, okay. Moving to item 4 on the agenda, the revenue budget update. Are there any further observations from officers?
Only to say, Chair, that the predicted overspend of about £6.5 million, as mentioned in the Cabinet Scrutiny Committee, will be continuously monitored as we go through the rest of the year. And we have submitted a loss of income claim for about 2.3 million for the second quarter. That was only issued last week. So the Welsh Government will be considering that, along with the claims from all other local authorities, shortly, and hopefully we will be able to have further recompense before long in terms of that item, Chair. So and hopefully the overall picture then will start to reduce by the time we come into further reports on the update and budget monitoring to you at future meetings.
Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Jenkins. Any observations or questions from members? I've seen none indicated. Therefore, we move to the recommendations, which are on page 39. There are 5 recommendations. 1, to improve the environments on the reserve position. 2, to note the issues. 3, to work with Welsh Government. 4, to note the grant position. And 5, to seek additional funding. I move those recommendations. Can I have a seconder, please?
Yeah, second, Chair.
Thank you. Anyone object or abstain from those recommendations? I see none indicated, therefore that item is approved. Moving to item 5, this is the Capital Programme Monitoring Report for quarter 2. Again, Mr. Jenkins, any observations?
Only that there's good progress in relation to major capital investment in the county borough over the past few months. Whilst the report says that there was 18.3 million spent to the end of September, we have actually paid out 21.8 million to date. and we will continue to try and deliver all the projects set out in the report over the remaining part of the year, even during these challenges with the pandemic.
Thank you, Mr. Jenkins. Councillor Peter Rees.
Just a question, Leader. I noticed Kevin Syson is mentioned in the report. Do I have to make any declarations?
I don't think so. This is the capital programme. I think you're safe there. I'll just check. Craig?
No, no need to declare any interest at all for this.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Okay. Any other questions from members? Okay, Peter, can I ask you to raise your lower your hand, please? Okay, if that's the case, then I'm going to move to the recommendation, which is on pages 55 of the report. There are two recommendations, one to approve the 2021 budget side and two to note the position as of September 2020, even though Howell's given us an up-to-date position as we currently stand. I move those recommendations. Can I have a seconder, please?
Second, Chair.
Thank you. Anyone abstain or object? I've seen none indicated, therefore that item is approved. Moving then to item 6, which is the Treasury Management Monitoring. Again, Mr. Jenkins, any other observations in relation to this?
Nothing to add on this one, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from members? This report is only for noting. I've seen none indicated, therefore the recommendation is on page 64, and that's just to note the report. All happy to do so? Okay. Moving then to item 7, the Afan Forest Park Visitor Centre. Any further observations or comments from officers?
Nothing further, Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Brennan. Any questions or observations from members? Councillor Clement Williams.
Yeah, just to say it's really nice to see this report, and really pleased that there's disabled facilities going to be there as well.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from members? Therefore, we move to the recommendation, which is on page 72. There are 3 recommendations to approve the project, to allocate delegated authority and to agree the procurement methods. I move those recommendations. Can I have a seconder, please?
Second, Chair.
Thank you. Anyone object or abstain to those recommendations? I see none indicated, therefore that item is approved. Item 8 is urgent items. There's one urgent item which is on the separate sheet, which is item 8A. This is the council tax base. This item wasn't scrutinised. Mr. Jenkins, is there anything that you'd like to add as observations?
No, Chair. This one merely sets the council tax base for next year, which we need to report to the Welsh Government by the 13th. So hence the reason for the report today.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or observations from members? I've seen none indicated. Therefore, I move the recommendations, which is on the page 6 of the separate report. And there is one recommendation there for approval. I move the recommendation. Can I have a seconder, please?
Second.
Anyone abstain or anyone object to that? I see none indicated, therefore that item is approved. Item 9 is access to meetings, to resolve to exclude the public for the following items of business pursuant to Regulation 4.3 and 5 of the Statutory Instrument 2001, number 2290, and the unmentioned exemption paragraphs of Part 4 of the Schedule 12A of the Local Government Act 1972. And I thank members of the press and any